We had an unusually cool spring, so everything is a couple weeks behind, but these peaches are finally starting to just ripen up. These are what I believe to be June Gold, and they're still ripening even though it's halfway through July. I had gone on vacation, and I kind of missed the optimal window to pull these garlics, but I'm still gonna be able to pull them. The asparagus is still going strong. Here's my fig bush. You can see the dogs really like eating the leaves. My rhubarb is really happy. Some of the alpine strawberries I have are also starting to bloom. I'm excited for this Caroline red raspberry to come into production. Some of the red amaranth is starting to pop up. These roses smell wonderfully citrusy. This Nikita's gift persimmon that I put in the fall has been growing really well. And all that just in one small corner of the yard, along with a couple container plants too. Right over here I put in a Crunch a Bunch apple, and underneath I have a pepper plant, a tomato plant, and an eggplant. I decided to get some blueberries into the ground this year, and they're taking off. For saucing tomatoes this year, I'm growing Rutgers. Look at this beautiful cluster here. These are all about 3 or 4 feet tall right now, about halfway up the trellis. And they are suffering from a little bit of disease, but it's probably just because of how rainy and cold it was in the spring. This setup is what I call the corridor. So I have trellises set up on either side, and then I have small, maybe 1 or 2 foot plants in the center, like basil or like peppers. Not many people think to trellis eggplant, but it has been doing really well on the trellis so far. This year, instead of doing the square foot method, I've done 3 plants for my 4 foot wide bed. This increased spacing has been so much easier to manage for the pruning. I just put the bigger plants in the center, and then the smaller plants go on each side. You can see even though the cucumber's kind of growing all over this thing, it's still producing, and then the peppers right next to it are still producing just fine. Buried in there, I also have some chard and kale. Here I have a modified corridor where the left side I'm growing dwarf tomatoes on a much shorter trellis, and then on the right side I'm growing indeterminate tomatoes on a much taller trellis. And the center here I have 1 plant that didn't take, but then I have all my other small bushy plants, including perpetual spinach. It's a favorite this year. I can't rave enough about the performances of these trellises. They're awesome. And again, it still leaves you plenty of light in the center to grow small plants like this shishito pepper. All you gotta do is boop.